All right. Says we're live. Um, it says we're live because I'm talking to the computer. As I say to my wife, who doesn't know that I'm not talking to her right now. Man, I got really sick last week. I had like algae poisoning. So what happened was, this is not the brush I want. What happened was, we got a really strong water purifier that it filters the water, the tap water, and it drips through, and the water is super pure that the instructions say to put this in the fridge as fast as possible because this is highly now susceptible to algae buildup. But our fridge is super filled up, and I was like, I'll just drink the water fast enough, no big deal. But I've been using a thermos, and I'm a dumb butt, so I haven't been really cleaning the thermos as much as I have, going, it's just water. Why do I have to clean water? Well, maybe because of the stupid algae buildup that I just mentioned. So last Monday, I woke up extremely dizzy. Like I had vertigo. I couldn't walk straight. Everything just was painful, and I was nauseous, and I had a headache, I had a neck ache, I had eye pain, and I had vertigo. Everything was dizzy, and that was Monday. And then Tuesday, I was like a little bit better, probably 50% better. So I was still dizzy. I was still very headachy, but I wasn't nauseous. And then Wednesday, I'd say I was about 90% better, and everything was fine. But what do you do when you are trying to get better? You drink water. So by Friday, it was like Monday again. And I go, what the heck is wrong with me to be so damn sick like this? So, because the night before we had salad with turkey, and that's not really something that you get food poisoned by. No. So I'm like, this can't be food poisoning. I haven't been outside in days because I don't feel good, so it can't really be allergies too much. And I'm in the shower wanting to die because, like, I just feel like I'm coming off. My cat is eating plastic. I feel like I'm coming off the teacups at Disney World. And I'm like, what is going on here? Why do I feel like I just got off a roller coaster? And I remember the instructions from the from the water filter saying, put this in the fridge because it's highly susceptible to algae buildup. So then after that, I got up after the shower, I Googled on my phone what algae poisoning is like to humans. And that includes headaches, dizziness, stomach ache, neck ache, eye strain. And the only symptom I did not have was vomiting, thank God. So I was like, yeah, I've been poisoning myself for the entire week. So starting last Friday, I've been drinking essentially bottles of water. Not an ad, just because it's not tap water. It's filtered in a different way, whatever. I just want to play it safe, and I've been getting better every day, and that sucked. So that's what my last week was. That's why there was no streaming. And also, Mark, you had your own health issues last week too, right?
Yes, I did. It's been a fun week. It's been a very health-related week, which I'm glad is over.
So what happened to you?
They don't know. It's between a combination of dizziness and headaches, maybe pressure on the optic nerve, but they want me to see a neurologist and an ENT to be able to confirm anything. So,
are you feeling better?
I still have bouts of dizziness, but the meclizine helps.
Is it like vertigo where you can't like stand up straight?
No, if anything, it's a very weak vertigo. It's just very consistent dizziness, which I loathe dizziness, and
Oh yeah,
interferes with your thoughts. Can't really think clearly.
yeah. On that Monday when I had it at my worst, like when dinner came, I tried to sit up straight, and Rebecca's like, "It looks like you had like 10 shots of vodka."
Yeah, that'll mess you up pretty badly. Vertigo sucks.
Yeah, I hate it. This is the second time I've had it in my life, and the first time was a few months ago, and it makes me wonder, like, am I just poisoning myself over and over again without noting? Who
Right.
knows? So, business for us has been growing.
Yeah.
You guys are buying our stuff that our combos are been really helpful. So when we get off the stream, we're going to go back to packaging orders that came in last night. Thanks, guys. And we signed some agreements with Funimation, and I had some meetings with Warner Brothers. It's been busy behind the scenes, but it sucks that only until last week Amazon suppression got lifted, and then Avatar went on Netflix, and then the demand for Avatar skyrocketed way beyond our inventory.
Yeah.
So, like for example, Amazon wants us to restock 400 Momo pins, and that's never been heard of with us before. It's usually like restock 20 Momo, restock 100 Appa, but not 400 Momo and 500 Iroh and blah, 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 blah. So we have been trying to get a hold of Hot Topic because they actually contacted us last week saying that they are interested in having our stuff as impulse purchases in both their stores and online website. And we know, and you know, that would be a match made in heaven. It'd be really good for our small company, and we will find an audience that doesn't know we even exist. And we make the stuff like Cowboy Bebop is big at Hot Topic, and we have the Cowboy Bebop pin and keychain license. So I actually emailed their contact at Nickelodeon to say, like, who do you guys know at Hot Topic? Because they contacted us, and we're trying to get a hold of them, and they're not responding to our responses. And because I really think now that Airbender is on Netflix, they can really take advantage of our stuff. But Mark, the thing that you and I have to remember is the production cost for some of our pins is higher than others, and Hot Topic is probably going to want to sell our stuff for cheaper than what we normally do, so that our wholesale needs to be smaller. And I'm kind of ready to take that hit just so they buy more bulk from us.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm very much looking forward to seeing what kind of business we're going to do with them, what type of orders they're going to want. Likely going to want to start with a few stores to see how things go. But from what I remember, when I went into other Hot Topics looking to speak with some of the higher ups, they'd said originally that pins don't do well for them, at least the ones over here in New York nearby. So,
do you think it's because they have like terrible display, bad options?
I mean, I don't know what things were like in the past, but when I went in, their selection was not good. It was very minor and it was very scattered, and it's already a pretty cluttered space.
Yeah.
So it's very easy for something to get lost. But I mean, our stuff should be doing very well there. If they take it in, I don't see our stuff doing poorly.
Yeah. Like they have JoJo shirts. Like they maybe want more JoJo merchandise, and our JoJo pins are better than the other licensee. I don't know. But like, if that's the case and they want JoJo stuff, I don't think we should even offer them the golden ones, because I don't want to deal with them being like, this is scratched, this is weird. And it's a slow production time. So I think for now, we need to focus on seeing if the translucents are low production value and offer the pastels. Absolutely.
Yeah. And start creating other lines like you had already mentioned.
Right.
You've already got a bunch of ideas in the works that everybody watching is going to be seeing in the future. So I'm looking forward to seeing how those concepts turn out too, because it's a brand new thing where we really want to start focusing on a bunch of new lines.
Yeah, that's actually another thing that I've been thinking about is like I don't like stepping on the toes of other licensees if we have the same property. And I also feel kind of insecure a little bit that if someone gets a property that we have after us, a part of me is like, oh, so I'm not good enough to make what they wanted. And it's not that. It's not that at all. But we, for the past year and a half, have been building series of pins, the golden series, you know, the golden hexagon glitter series, the pastel series, the translucent series, you know, we can do a glow in the dark series. We can do rainbow metal series, blah, 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 blah. And people are starting to go, oh, that's a Zen Monkey Studio pin, that's a pin. And that feels great. And it also helps us not cannibalize the sales of the other licensees. So that means I'm starting to feel comfortable to potentially ask our clients for bigger properties. Like, I kind of want My Hero Academia.
And I kind of do too, because I started watching that relatively recently. I have to admit that I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. I absolutely went in wanting to be like, the hype is way too high. And maybe with hype, maybe it is, I don't know. But I do get the hype. It's very, very fun to watch.
It's a lighthearted, charming show. And manga, I guess. But yeah, so that, you know, I'm kind of ready, and it's just the money because, oh God, we have a lot of bills to pay for our old fulfillment center that my dad, who's our treasurer, is trying to fix because they were trying to bill us tens of thousands more than they should have. And there's that. There's the cost of goods bill coming up, which is about $19,000. And then there's the royalties, which is going to be about, let's say, another $19,000. So we owe, I'm going to say, between $40,000 to $50,000 in all these maintenance fees. And, you know, Mark and I need to kind of pay rent and buy food to live also on top of all that. So, like, as much as I want to start making negotiations to get more properties, I don't know if we're there yet, or we're going to be there in a few days, or it's going to be a few months. But, you know, that's one of my concerns, you know. What are you clicking on right now, Mark?
No, just going through the tabs, checking through the orders, things like that.
Yeah. How you doing with your orders? I did 4 out of my 5, and I got the big one is left for me, which is 18 pins and 2 lanyards.
I mean, I've got them written up, basically pulled. It's just a matter of putting the rest of them together and finishing up the orders.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's what we're kind of like focusing on these days, guys, is we're working on shipping. I'm trying to make the pins, but I really want to do box design, because we can go to a company called Pack Lane and they can make custom boxes for us that feels good, but that's going to cost more. Not only to manufacture, but a custom box costs more than this blank envelope. And then it might cost more to ship because it's not an envelope, it's an actual box. So it was a priority, but I feel like I just need to make more sales first before we go into that part of the world. And, you know, like, we want to do non-licensed stuff. There's parts of this world that I'm just completely burnt out. And I want to do original stuff again. I missed the game that we were working on. I kind of forgot the rules of the game that we made.
I don't remember the exact specifics, but I do have a general idea.
Yeah. So Vicky just shipped out Big Bad Toy Store's order, so that's nice.
That she did. Gonna make sure they get that information.
You know, I said to Rebecca this morning that in about 3 months we would be flying out to Seattle for Emerald City, and that feels weird at this point. You know,
Yep.
it's like even if things are better, it's like really want to have an event with 50,000 people that probably won't show up anymore because of everything that happened.
Yeah, I mean, I do miss it though. I miss it terribly. Besides the socialization, I love being able to, dress up for these whole things, cosplay, and then do my sales in person, watch everything fly off the shelves, all the eventfulness of it.
Yeah.
It hurts. It hurts.
I mean, this was the year we wanted to do like specials and monkey events because one of the ways to compete with Amazon is to build a community.
Yeah.
And it's like that's on hold. And then when it's not on hold, I don't think life is going to go back to exactly how it was 1-to-1. It's just not it. It just isn't.
Nah, no, it absolutely won't.
Even if all the people who call all of this as bullshit, there's just too many people that are afraid to even like go back to normal.
Yeah.
Like even all those footages or photos of people that are like back at the malls or at bars and whatnot. I still think it's less than what it was because not everyone is
totally on board with things going the way
yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So like I had actually mentioned to you before, a couple of instances from what I've heard, like the beach is opening up over here in Long Beach, where people would buy the passes. There was no social distancing whatsoever. People were just so happy to be able to get out of their houses and be able to go to the beaches again, although you do need a beach pass, that people were lining up for blocks down to get the beach passes, but no one was staying 6 feet apart. So you have blocks of all these people. While granted, that's a lot of people. It's also a lot of people crammed close to each other, not caring about what happened. A lot of them understandably not wearing masks in a sense that they were going to the beach, and you don't want to wear a mask on a beach to get that extremely odd tan line as if you were wearing sunglasses. I don't think they'd match that well. You might look like a chimpanzee after that, just have like the no hair over the mouth sort of situation while the rest of your face is dark. But you also have that in Florida too, where, people were opening up the bars and they were opening up the beaches, and then people were crowding. It's like people want to do it, or there's so many people that don't care about the social distancing that you do have a ton of people that'll be jumping all over these events and making it seem like it's normal all over again to a degree. But from the emails I've been getting from Kamikaze, that convention, they want to continue in September. And like a lot of the other conventions, they're going to be taking precautions to allow people to distance themselves by only accepting a certain amount of people on the floor at a time, while also only accepting fewer vendors so that they can create more space for people to go around. And to be completely honest, I don't think it's going to work. I think people are still going to cram themselves. And because there's nothing keeping people apart. Let's say there's a very popular exhibit like ours tends to be. And even if we don't open it up, I feel like that's going to make it worse because people are going to be crowding the stand. And you can't keep people 6 feet apart at the stand while trying to make an order. It's like that would only fit like how many people? Like what? 7? And we have more than that at a time.
Well, if we had a 20 by 10 foot booth and they got to keep 6, that's 3 people. That's 3 people at the checkout line.
Yeah, I was thinking kind of like a corner, like we would usually get if we were to do something like that. And even then, to be able to keep up with that, with having fewer people on our end, because we also want to keep socially distant while we are working the booth, it's a very odd set of circumstances to try to work around. It's the logistics of that is mind-boggling because to have to create a convention where you want as many people as possible, but have to hold back and say, listen, we have to make it worse. It's not what it's meant to be. And I worry about how that's going to function, but who knows? I'm not a pro at this. And I can't say I know how it's going to turn out because I haven't seen it done before. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, like, okay, let's say we do go and then we fly back to New York, and then by state law, we have to be quarantined for 2 weeks after Seattle. Um, is that going to be a thing? Like now we have to like deal with isolation worse than ever, worse than just staying in New York.
Well, I mean, that comes down to like how much of a recurrence we're expecting COVID to come back as. And then it's like, if they really expect it to come back at that time, that's funny because they're expecting it to come back pretty much at the time when the conventions are supposed to be starting up, which will cause a resurgence. And that will only compound the resurgence, which I don't know what to think anymore. I would love for the economy and everything to go back to start doing business again the way we did. But at the same
But
time,
like,
I understand.
so like another thing I was thinking of is like you're saying how like people are rushing back to the bars and to the beaches. How many people are going to be rushing back to a bookstore? Because Kinokuniya was a big client of ours. Like when they reopen, are people going to be like they're going to be like, oh, we sold out of your pins in 5 days, or they're going to be like, no one's rushing to a bookstore.
Nah, I would be. Here's the thing. Normally, I would be surprised that it seems the sensible thing would be like, oh, cool, hey, let's start up, and then things kind of fail because no one shows up. However, the way things seem to be these days is that when people open up, people crowd to it ridiculously. So if Kinokuniya starts opening up, I mean, granted, they're likely going to only allow a certain amount of people in their stores on certain floors at a given time, but I think people are going to be flocking to them based on the way things are going. And as much as I partially don't want that to happen, for safety reasons, part of me also does want it to happen because I want to see the successes of people opening up, having been starved of their business for so long. And it's a very, very weird sort of limbo of feelings to be stuck in. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Like I don't know how to explain it. Like May on Amazon now is actually going in a direction that it's the best month of 2020 on Amazon for us. But their backlog is, first of all, their backlog got over 600 orders for us, and now it's in the 300. So it's improving, but there's still a backlog, and they owed us 5 figures in revenue for X amount of weeks in sales, and they did not give us 5 figures. They gave us mid 4 figures. So they withheld all this money from us that we could use for the bills that I mentioned. So it's kind of like, yay, this is a great month for us on Amazon, but we don't get the money. And I don't know when that's going to change. So it's kind of like things are improving, but also things are not improving. And our site is like, you guys are really helping us out. You guys are following through and purchasing these bundles. And it really gives us the money that we need to pay off all these things and to keep us going. But like, I would spend 10 to 12 hours a day sometimes taking care of this shit rather than working on new designs or working on packaging or, talking about other stuff or coming up with like the next thing that we're going to work on. And that's fine because I know it's not forever, but I'm a little antsy. I'm just an impatient person in general. And that could be because ever since high school, I've been publishing web comics. So you draw the comic, you upload it to the site, it's ready to go, done. Move on to the next one. And that's not how the world really works.
Yeah. And, similar situation to how I had said, people are willing to go back to the way things are is just as you've mentioned. You would think, logically, the way things are going, people are going to be holding on to their money. That a lot of people don't want to buy non-essentials, even though the video game industry boomed after this all happened. I guess once everybody picked up, we put all these things online, and from what I've seen with some of our clients who just started to open up and everything like that, the demand skyrocketed compared to even what it was prior, almost as if it had built up and a dam had been let loose. Yeah. So it's people are they want to spend, they want to enjoy themselves like they did, and they are willing to go to lengths to do that.
Yeah, not only are people like spending a lot with us the past few months on the past 5 weeks, I should say. It's not. It feels longer than it is on our site, but people are starting to write like really nice letters to us and how much they love our stuff and they hope we're doing okay during all this, and they got their previous order and the kids loved it, so they're getting more, and like that's really like it. It feels like we're doing something right. And because it's like we're making pins and keychains, and it's like, okay.
No, people have definitely become more affectionate. That's for sure.
Like I really like in the past, like I would have other people respond to customer service for me, and Mark handles customer service emails before it gets to me because he can handle a meanie bikini a lot easier than me.
I've seen some interesting stuff.
Some that you don't even want to share with me. Yeah, that's fair. But the fact is, I think the ratio has dropped considerably since like I would say, we're an 8-year-old company. I would say 6 years ago, I'd be like, I can't do this anymore. People are terrible. And now it's like, there's some lunatics, but most people are fine.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. So I can just tell you this now. I have not received a single negative email. Every single one was either just a question or, positive things with a question. There has not been a single problematic person yet. Some very odd ones.
Yeah, like there's this guy from China ordering fraudulent orders for months now, and he placed an order yesterday for like $550. And then he also used an email that didn't exist. So then his order confirmation got pinged back to us that they're like, email cannot be found. So we canceled it because we're not dealing with losing $550 worth of merchandise. And so when I canceled it, he emailed Mark being like, why'd you cancel it? And Mark was like, could you explain? And the guy's like, what does that mean?
Well, it was more so like it was interesting because, I mean, I could assume that is the person that was canceled, but I received an email from an email address that I've never seen, literally only saying, why does my order keep getting canceled in broken English? And
yeah,
I can't work off of that. So I'm like, I need you to verify who you are, what order. And he was just like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
And I explained and I never got a response. So there you go.
Yeah. Sometimes I think like some of these orders that set off our fraud alerts are from like bootleg manufacturers in China being like, oh, we can sell this on Alibaba, which we've seen happen.
Yeah, it's
they would like order our pins in bulk to replicate and make bootleg versions. Sometimes I wonder if that's the case, and maybe I'm just being a lunatic and making stuff up, but it feels like that.
Yeah. I mean, all things considered, like you said, we've seen it happen. We've seen the bootlegs. We've seen it. So either way, I mean, it doesn't hurt to take precautions.
Right. Oh, well, that is what it is. And, our ideas, like the ideas that I have are working, and then you come up with ideas and they work, and these people steal. They don't come up with their own ideas. They don't go through the whole process. Like Hot Topic is not contacting this bootlegger. So that stuff helps me keep going, but I'm still not going to fulfill your order.
Yeah.
We got to protect ourselves because we're still a small company, and we want to hire back some people that I had to let go, which, all the royalty bills and the amplifier fees and the cost of goods, like if we still had the others, we'd be kind of fucking screwed right now, because it's a different story if Diamond paid their bills and Kino Kunio kept ordering from us, and we would have gotten more clients from the toy fair, and none of that is happening right now because everything's like shut down.
Yeah, I do miss my wholesale clients.
I want you to like talk to Alex and be like, when things open up again, what do you think of Inuyasha? What do you think of Naruto? What do you think of Hunter x Hunter? What do you think of the obvious My Hero Academia?
Yeah.
and then
I
tell
feel like I
him,
already know what he's going to say, but absolutely.
right? But I guess so. Yeah. The answer is going to be anything My Hero Academia, like that,
Yep.
just usurps all shelf space, no matter what.
Yeah.
And I should contact Aniplex after this and be like, "Come on, guys,
Yeah.
it's the anime."
Yeah. Inuyasha is absolutely going to be on fire for the next. I do not know, but I mean, it's going to be huge because it was already solid before this whole sequel was announced.
Right.
So the hype is real right now. You've got, what else did you mention besides My Hero? Hunter x Hunter, maybe. And the last one you had mentioned was Naruto, and that's already been a pretty solid brand as is. I don't know if it's as big as it was. It probably isn't, but it's still going to be a pretty strong brand, no question.
Right. A part of me is sort of like, what can we do in the gold style? What can we do in the translucent style? So people go like, what's next in that style? Like, what's next in that series? I got to add to my collection. And then they see like Cowboy Bebop. They're like, no way, JoJo and Cowboy Bebop. What's next? Because, people are like, where's the Lupin ones? And I'm like, well, Lupin sales terribly. But now it's like, whatever, final swan song. We'll make 200 of each and call it a day.
Yeah, I was actually surprised to start seeing demand for Lupin. That was pretty interesting. You had also had people, just as you said, like emailing me saying, "Oh, are you going to start doing this in the Gold series? Like,
yeah,
when are you doing more in this type? Are you doing more in this type?" Yeah, they've been coming in.
Like what? Like what?
JoJo specifically is what I've seen at least twice. Where they're like, "I love the JoJos in this style. Are you coming out with this in that series? Are you expanding on this series, like the Gold series? Like, are you making more in that style?" I'm like, absolutely, yeah. We've got that and a bunch of lines coming out because we do, and I'm looking forward to seeing it myself, filling up that catalog for more stuff to be able to choose from. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. So that's what we're up to today, guys. Mark and I were sick. We kept doing our job last week. I'm feeling a lot better. We got a lot of bills to pay. We got a lot of orders to fulfill. Thank you. Amazon's getting better. Our wholesale sites are still kind of dead. And we'll get through this. Normal on the other side is clearly going to be different looking, but we'll do what we got to do, and we'll adapt because that's what humans do. Change sucks, but we also are able to adapt to change. All right, Mark, I'm going to have some lunch. How about you?
Yeah, actually, that sounds pretty good. I'm not sure what I'm going to have, but I'm sure it's going to be good because I always like the good stuff.
Great. Okay. Is there any designs that I should be working on? I actually asked Nickelodeon for some Airbender and Korra character model assets for the Translucent series for those shows. So they're getting it for us.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they're helping us.
Nice.
It's just going to probably take some time because he's like, I have a lot of character sheets. What do you need in particular? So, yeah.
Looking forward to what you get from that.
Okay. I'm going to eat. It was a shorter broadcast, but, maybe we're able to not burn out as fast if we do 30 minutes rather than an hour and a half.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Thanks for everyone for stopping by. I hope you guys learned something.
Yeah, and if you got any questions, throw them our way or send emails, whatever. We are very quick to respond to those.
The emails are faster. If you leave a message on Facebook, I am slow as molasses on Facebook. I've seen stuff like 4 days later, and I'm like, whoops, I kind of screwed that one up.
Yeah,
so,
stuff from me on Facebook, it's not me, so don't do that. I am not on Facebook.
There you go. Mark's not on Facebook. Tonight at 11.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to press end broadcast.
Be good, guys.